If your child is the kind of individual who's just willing to do timeouts and comply with you about that, that's great. Count your blessings. Most kids don't do that. Most kids who've had a certain level of power and control in the family are not ready to give it up so easily. So there needs to be a backup to timeout, and it's used under two different circumstances. The first being that if your child decides they don't want to go to the corner when you've asked them to, and the second one is if they go to the corner but they actually haven't completed their timeout according to the number of seconds or minutes that you've defined as their corner time. This is also something that we encourage you to demo in your family meeting so that kids aren't taken by surprise about this. You're changing the speed limit in the family. You're going now from 75 to 60 as a speed limit, so it's so important that you give your child advance warning about what's going to happen. If they misbehave, then they'll go to timeout, and if they don't go to timeout or they don't do it appropriately, that you will actually hold them. This is a system that's been developed by a number of different therapists, and it's probably the least aversive of any forms of systems of control. So what you'll do in that case is you will take your child and you will pull them into your lap. Basically, you want to place your legs over their legs, place your arms over their arms, and be able to hold them like this. Now, in a lot of cases, kids will scream and they'll kick. And they may even try to headbutt you, and they may try to bite you or kick you or call you like the meanest mom in the whole world, whatever it is. What you'll do if they start to headbutt you is you'll want to lean forward a little bit because it destroys the leverage that they have to be able to do that. You really want to hold your child as firmly as you need to prevent yourself from getting hurt. We're not wanting you to have scars and bruises at the conclusion of this process. It would also be very upsetting to your child for that to occur. Now, this kind of procedure works in a number of different ways. One is that for lots of kids, it's aversive to be held. So there's no question about it. It is a form of consequence for the fact that they're not listening to you and doing their time out. The second really valuable part of this procedure is that you are providing a safe container where they can have a huge temper tantrum and cry and scream and get all their feelings out about the fact that, hey, I used to be the boss of the world and the boss of the family, and now you're telling me that I have to follow your rules, thank you very much. So that's a pretty upsetting thing. An example I use a lot is imagine that you as an adult are having a loss in your life. Your best friend is moving to Texas tomorrow and you're really going to miss her. You're going to be mad and you're going to be sad. Well, you go through a mourning process and you let go, and the more effective you can be at that mourning and letting go, the more quickly you'll be able to establish new friendships. So what your child is letting go of is their attachment and the idea that they've got all this power and control, and that if they don't have that, they're really scared and things are awful. As they release these feelings, they are becoming rapidly more accepting of the new set of rules that you have in the family. So that emotional release process where it's safe to happen, they can have that big old temper tantrum, but you're not going to let them go until what you say is, sweetheart, when you're ready, mommy will let you go stand in the corner and do your time out. So your child may ask you to give me a hug, I was like, sweetheart, I will give you a hug when you go and you listen to mommy and you go to the corner and you do the timeout like I've asked you to. What you're saying every couple of minutes to your child is not any form of encouragement about, come on, are you ready to do your timeout now? You don't want to do that. You want to stay in that detached place where you'll say things like, sweetie, when you're ready, mommy will let you go do your timeout or finish your timeout. The other thing that you want to do as a parent, and perhaps this is one of the most important pieces of advice, is that because of those mirror neurons, because of the emotional upset, your job as a parent holding your child is to keep slow, deep breathing. So as you do that, your slow, deep breathing affects your own brain chemistry, settles you down. Your child will then more likely climb into that same space of safety and okayness, and they're more likely to be able to finish the holding procedure so that they can then do their time out. So we wish you good luck with this process. This can bring up a lot of feelings for parents, and we hope that you'll be able to deal with those feelings and do what your child needs, which is to provide them with a safe container, not just in terms of the holding procedure, but in terms of the whole process of how it is that they will feel more comfortable in a family where appropriate and caring limits are being set with them. And if you have any questions about the procedures, please feel free to post some questions on the website, and we'd be glad to respond. Thanks.